Hey.
That's going to stay on the podcast.
I don't see why not.
That was a great intro.
Yeah. You talking about the clapping?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you.
It was almost like Matthew McConaughey in Wall Street, kind of like pumps you up, you know? Yeah. Which he actually really does. They just wanted to keep it in the movie.
And he was really skinny. Like, you could see from where he was doing Dallas Buyers Club.
I watched that for the first time this weekend.
Really
Different
really
podcast, but great movie. I very much enjoyed it.
Is he a better AIDS victim than Tom Hanks in Philadelphia? Is he the one that has the AIDS, or is he helping with the AIDS?
Oh, no, he's got AIDS.
You know what's funny? Either way, it's an Academy Award-winning performance.
You're right.
Apparently, if you are a good actor and you play AIDS well, then
I'll
you're
tell
going to
you
win
who
an
I
Oscar.
thought acted just as good or better, and then we'll get into The Walking Dead on that. I thought Jared Leto was freaking awesome. He played the gay guy, but he was kind of
the drag queen woman.
Drag queen.
Dude.
I mean, when he
won too. He won.
Did he win something? I didn't see that. He played it good. I mean, you really felt for him during
and he's the new
bad,
Joker, so we get to see a difference.
I love Jared Leto.
He's good.
How have I still not seen that? Darn.
What's that?
The Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. Okay, I was going to say Suicide Squad hasn't come out yet.
Definitely red boxed it. I enjoyed it.
I'm halfway through all the Oscar nominees so far, though. Almost halfway through. Yeah.
But no, okay, so we are just 2 or 3 weeks away from The Walking Dead returning.
Right around
we're
the
so
corner.
excited. And so now we're just kind of filling in time in between because those devoted listeners of ours, you guys,
it's been a really exciting winter break. Like, we've had a contest winner.
And actually, I was going to say, I forgot what your real name was. I have it in the email, but Sanburbia Pictures, you'll get your we had a winter storm here. That was pretty bad.
Oh yeah, the entire East Coast.
Yeah.
We were right in the middle of it.
And you're in California, so you wouldn't know anything about that.
You probably don't even understand what we're saying when we say snowstorm.
Snow is. You think it's like the fake
Northern
stuff
California,
in the mall.
where the girls are warmer.
Yeah.
We
like that.
We want the diamond, Samburbia. We want the diamond. Only then will you get the antidote to the poison you just drank. That's what we're talking about, right?
And also, JP will not let you have the knife until you send the diamond.
Yep.
Or he won't have the knife or the antidote to the poison.
Yeah, he just drank some poison, whether you guys know it or not.
What if he's looking down at his cup right
him?
now and he's like, and just sets it down?
If your fingernails start turning blue, then yeah. It's because you
But
drank
we have
Then what?
Yeah.
We have your prize. It's actually at my house, sitting under my coffee table. So actually under my guitar amplifier.
Safe and sound.
So I will. We'll get that to you soon.
I got to give you that letter from Daryl.
I was thinking that last time. We've got the
that.
belt, the knife, and some cool little memorabilia. But I was thinking we didn't.
How's
get the
his
Daryl
penmanship, or was it like dictated and typed up?
I don't think it was typed up. I think he spoke it to someone and then they wrote it down. But it's nice. It's fairly nice handwriting. But I don't think it's Daryl Dixon handwriting. You know what I'm saying?
And Daryl's not really a man of many words, so I'm sure it's very brief. It's like, here's your knife.
Half a page long. I try not to read. I looked at it a little bit, but I closed it because I figured this is for him.
Yeah,
this isn't for me.
Yeah.
This isn't. I shouldn't be reading.
No.
Swing and thrust. The end. But yeah, so that was a terrible Daryl. We used to do pretty good. I can't do Daryl.
I wasn't going to say anything. You don't deserve that. But but our listeners don't deserve that.
Daryl is an interesting. He's got a southern drawl, but it's not really as pronounced as Rick.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Where are you going, Michonne? That's all I've got. That's my favorite. That's
Steve Urkel. On
was that what that was? Sorry.
Where are you going, Michonne?
That should have been from last week. Then who would survive? Would Steve Urkel survive?
Oh man, Steve Urkel.
Stefan would, but not
Stefan would. Steve Urkel would be killed immediately.
Yeah. And then what was it? Mecha Urkel? Do you remember the Android Urkel that he had, like the metal version?
Yeah.
No.
No, I never really watched Family Ties or Matters.
TGIF, man. I was
whichever one it was.
Family Matters. You're the reason that black people aren't getting nominated for Oscars because you don't know the difference between Family Ties and Family Matters.
It was a spinoff, right? I don't know.
All right, so today we're talking hypotheticals on The Walking Dead.
It's a big what if episode.
It really is. It's a big what if.
You guys ever read the what if issues Marvel puts out? Like, what if Wolverine was Lord of the Vampires, or what if Kingpin was owned by or Daredevil owned by Kingpin?
I've heard of them. I haven't.
Yeah, they're real nice. They're fantastical.
What if the Fantastic Four had a group orgy or?
I've got the new one.
I would not want to be under the thing. That's for sure. Yikes.
I've got the new one at home, and I'm hesitating on why. I thought the old one sucked, and I think I've heard that the new one sucks too. So I'm kind of.
What's that?
The new Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't crazy.
It's just
that's
the movie.
Right?
That's
just something that people aren't going to get into. I don't feel because the last one sucked. I think this one's going to suck.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I liked about the last one was the fact that Silver Surfer showed up.
Even then.
Yeah, they still screwed him up, too. I mean, he had so much potential. He had like one or two cool scenes, and then they knocked him off his board.
We're never going to, I don't know if we're going to get something good.
So, what if scenario?
What if?
So let's just get it going with a big question. The first big question is, what if Rick died? What if the season,
like with
mid-season premiere,
yeah,
like the first 3 minutes, Rick is just killed off.
Gone.
Like somebody's going to pop the cap on his head.
What kind of? First off, how do you think Carl's going to react?
He's going to be really sad.
He's going to. No!
Do we think?
No. Just empty a what do you not a clip, but a barrel? Or
You're right. First comes anger.
Empty his magazine.
Yeah, magazine, I guess. Yeah.
So do we think that, because now he seems a lot more stable with who he is, though. He's a lot more level-headed. And I think, this guy shot his mom in the head, and though he did kind of start going off the edge there afterwards, he was kind of pulled back up by Hershel and Rick. Mm-hmm. I don't know that. I really don't think that Carl would flip out as bad as, like, some people probably think he would go crazy, but I feel like Carl is like really grown up. I think that he probably understands. Rick told him in season 2, remember, he was like, I'm going to die, your mom's going to die. That one already happened.
Thanks for the pep talk, Dad.
And so I think that he's kind of, if you live in that world, you've kind of got to prepare yourself for everybody you care about is going to die. And I think Carl's at that point.
He would definitely internalize it.
Yeah.
It would be like one of them, like a whole revenge thing storyline.
Yeah, because season like 3, Carl would definitely probably go psycho, and then would have the whole Negan thing. Like
youth is wasted on the young, man.
But
what are you gonna do?
Now he's kind of more level.
Yeah, you have to in the zombie apocalypse. You go through puberty extra quick.
Yeah, your puberty's like 2 weeks.
You grow up really quick.
2 weeks, and you get it out of your system. Mm-hmm. But what do we think? Who do you think would step up and be the next leader? Who would take the helm? Who would be the next leader?
I think it'd have to be Michonne.
I think it would be a 3-way struggle between Michonne, Carol, and oh my God,
Morgan. Are you thinking of Abraham? Oh, Morgan.
Well, Morgan, I don't think really wants to be a leader. I think he's much more of Zen. He just wants to be. I think he wants to be in the group, but I don't think he wants to.
He wants to be like a voice of reason,
right? He wants to be the Hershel kind of, an advisor, a sound voice of wisdom to the leader.
I could definitely see Abraham trying to take the reins, if not for the whole Eugene debacle. I think he really got kind of emasculated with that.
I could definitely see like Daryl, like we said, and somebody actually commented under it and had a good point. Daryl's just like a soldier. Like he's just like give him an objective, he's going to go do it. But as far as making the calls, he's not really. And I don't think he would want to be. Actually, too, we left out one who is very capable of leading, Glenn. Glenn, where he is now, would be a very capable leader. I don't think he's ruthless enough to make some of the hard calls.
Yeah,
I feel like the same way he would be like the voice of reason.
You don't think he would actually want to lead?
No.
Well, I just say that because we've had lots of instances where he's tried to lead. Like they've shown him, like remember season 3, with Merle, even though Merle back then, kind of punked him down and threw him down the steps, and Maggie saved him. It's been several times where he tried to, like he said, like Rick's gone, I'm now the leader. Because he wanted to go to Woodbury in season 3 and kill the governor after the whole Maggie thing, and that's when Hershel was begging Rick to come back because he was like, Glenn's on a warpath. So Glenn stepped up a time or two when Rick wasn't present and proclaimed himself to be the leader.
I could see Glenn being like a figurehead. I could see people following Glenn, but I think there'd definitely be power behind the throne. Somebody with more blood on their hands.
I think it would come down.
What needed to go down.
I think the Carol and who else did you say?
Michonne.
Carol and Michonne would be the two, because right now Michonne's gotten soft, but we know that she can make hard decisions. She can just behead someone and not think twice about it if she needs to. I definitely could see it coming down. And how cool is that? I mean, in this new progressive world, 2 ladies is who we come down between as our main choices for leaders.
It took the zombie apocalypse, but we finally got women to come out on top.
I mean, because Carol, she's a little too extreme at times, but I do think she'd be a great leader.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, she'd be a great leader like Rick in the sense of I'm scared. I would be scared that she would get too caught up sometimes and like vengeance, like not know when to pull out. No pun intended.
Oh, boy. Carol would be like an African dictator, just with the child soldier. She'd have them hacking people up with machetes.
And I think between the two, Michonne would probably be the best choice of leadership because she's got a savage side when she needs to be. She can go out there and kick ass and know what to do. Like, that's probably my biggest disappointment about episode 2 is that Michonne was not there to fight people with knives, being she had a sword. I mean, you would have seen Michonne just go like Super Saiyan. It would have been awesome.
But she's also super level-headed. Like, remember when she knocked Rick out when we went all cray-cray on
and
all
she told him she agreed with what he was saying, but his presentation was sloppy.
You can't be talking like that.
Yeah, I think Michonne would be the best in line, because even Abraham can get a little too hot-headed.
Yeah.
Michonne can get, we've never really seen Michonne lose herself being too hot-headed, other than she really wanted to get the governor. But even then, she was very well calculated. I mean, she didn't just run up in Woodbury and start slashing people up. I mean, she was very sneaky, and I think Michonne would probably be the best leader if Rick was taken out.
Same here.
I think she'd be fantastic. I'd follow Michonne. Michonne for leader. We need to run a campaign here. And, of course, listeners, please comment in the bottom. Between Carol and Michonne, who would you follow, or who do you think would be the best leader?
I'm eager to hear this.
All I'm saying is I'm trying to follow Michonne because of that bootay.
She does work out.
Trying to walk behind.
You can tell she works out. She does lunges and squats. You can tell.
Oh, yeah. She does those weird little,
she's got
mountain climbers.
Upper arm structure. Good collarbone.
Carol ain't filling out those khakis. Ain't nobody following Carol.
Nah, she probably back in the day, she was probably a head turner, but... the rose.
You can see, she's definitely a lot more attractive than she was in season 1. Season 1, she was like a character you didn't even look at all. Now, you still kind of don't. But
you can, Carol?
Yeah, but you can tell she's really... go back to season 1, man. She was kind of grungy looking in season 1.
I don't know. She's like
now you can look at her in the face and tell that she's got a very pretty face. She's a very lovely woman.
I can agree with that.
I think they wanted that. They wanted more like the trailer trash kind of look in season 1.
She's kind of a flat-chested Jamie Lee Curtis, quite frankly.
She reminds me a lot of Jamie Lee Curtis. Every time I see Jamie Lee Curtis, I think of Carol now.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I do see that. But, yeah, so we all actually agree on Michonne. We think Michonne would be the next best in line for leadership. That's awesome. I'm glad that we agree on that. Nice. Watch, all of the listeners are going to be like, "Are you kidding, Carol?" But I do think that Michonne would definitely be best. All right, now, next question that Matt had proposed before the podcast. What if Lori was still alive?
What if?
Oh, boy.
Where do we think we would be?
I would not be a fan, I'll tell you that much. But I just kind of want to know what people would think.
I think Rick would be in another twisted love triangle.
Oh yeah, between Lori and Jess. Oh, flip the script on Lori. She's been the woman that two guys were fighting over. Now, let her man be the guy that her and some other woman are having a fight over.
Oh, Rick turning the tables. I like it.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. I would like to see that.
Even in the zombie apocalypse, he's a stud, man.
Rick's the man. He's the alpha male.
He's true.
He's an alpha male, and I mean that's one of those things, man. Nerds. We hate it. But in something like that, a woman's survival instinct kicks in. They look at Rick,
bro.
They look at Rick. It goes back to the primitive days. They're like, this is the alpha male. This is the pack leader. I want to have his babies because they have the best chance of survival. It kills me every time.
That's what I love about Maggie so much, though. Like I said, she went with Glenn.
Oh, Glenn definitely used the zombie apocalypse to date out of his league, and for that we applaud. I mean,
Maggie's my gal.
I really like Maggie. She's actually going to be in the Superman versus Batman.
No, who is she going to be in that?
I have no idea, but they said that she's in it and she's got a critical role. I don't know if that means she's going to be in the movie or if she's going to end up in that universe, but she's going to be in it. And they said she's got a crucial role.
Is she going to be Lois Lane? Have they cast her?
Amy Adams is Lois Lane.
Amy Adams is. Huh.
And Lawrence Fishburne is Perry White. And they did. This was from Superman Returns. I like the casting that they did.
I don't. What do you think about Ben Affleck? Someone tried.
We're
going to
find out. I don't want to jump ship.
I saw the movie The Town and thought he did a great job. So that gave me inspiration that he can be gritty.
He's done a few things recently.
I think he's one of those that
Gone Girl.
Somebody said he sucked, and then people jumped on that bandwagon. Not saying he hadn't had crappy movies, but who hasn't? I mean, everybody's had their string. But I've always thought Ben Affleck could act when he wanted to. I mean,
he's a great actor, and we're going to see what happens.
He does.
People say the trailer's giving away too much, and I agree. The trailer does. If you don't want to know too much about this movie going in, do not watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Because the trailer gives away a lot.
But so Maggie will be in there somehow.
Oh, okay, yes.
What if the group is following her? Like, what if that's her crucial role? That
would be funny if they're just like walking through the scene.
Yeah, it could be like Stephen King's Dark Tower. Like somehow they connect. Like these worlds connect. Like maybe
just show up in Rhode Island sometimes.
Ugh. But yeah, so if Lori was still alive. Do you think Rick would... All right, here's a good question. If Lori was still alive, do you think Rick would have even gave Jess a look? Do you even think there would be anything
If he's got two eyes, he would have.
And for the sake of television, and when you say that,
Well, I'm talking more his... All right, for the sake of television, yes, to create drama. But let's take that and put it aside and think
just
like
Rick as a character
study of Rick. How he is. Do you think he's devoted enough to Lori that he would have put up with her crap throughout the zombie apocalypse and not looked at another woman. Because really, he wasn't around any other women other than Andrea, who, again, if you listen to our podcast regularly, you know is the most annoying character, in my opinion, in this show's history.
Not a fan.
You had really Carol, who, again, wasn't really all that attractive, or, Rick's a fighter, and so was Lori. I'll give her that credit. I mean, she, was aggressive in attitude, whereas Carol was real meek. So, I don't really think Rick had many options, but now that he's in a new world with all these new options, I'm anxious. I wonder how he would have.
I think it's something he would have struggled with.
Yeah,
something he would have definitely.
Well, especially if she was still nagging on him the entire time. Like if their relationship didn't really improve much. Once he got around another strong woman like Jess, he probably would have.
And he would always hold the whole
the
Shane thing. Yeah, that's something I don't think he'd. I admire the character for trying his damnedest to move past that. He did try. Who else could look at their best friend and say, "Oh, I know you slept with my wife."
I'm telling you.
And not. I love that line where he told him, he was like, "I wanted to break your jaw and make you choke on your teeth," or whatever he said. And he was like, "But I didn't." He was like, "And that wasn't weakness. It took everything I had not to."
If I was Rick,
love that.
Way back on Hershel's farm, I would have put that knocked up Betty in a Camry with Shane and been like, "Be gone with the both of you."
You would have caroled him. You would have put him in a thing with a lot of supplies and been like, "We don't need you anymore."
Yep.
And
be gone.
Got him the hell out of here.
Jeez.
You've been banished.
That's probably what should have happened.
They don't use that word enough in the zombie apocalypse.
Be gone.
Banished. Banished. They need. That's a powerful word. You are hereby banished.
Sounds like something Negan might say.
Yeah.
As a joke.
I was reading today, being it's Walking Dead, it's off subject, but I was reading. A lot of people are really scared that they're going to downplay Negan. They're either going to do one of two things. I was reading. They're scared that they're going to make him a lot softer, or they're going to make him just a complete maniac, which they said is not. He's a maniac, but he's a very intelligent and calculated. He doesn't just make rash decisions.
He's not all one-dimensional.
He's not like the governor. He doesn't flip off the handle and just go kill them all. And he's a very everything he does. He's generally got a motive behind it. And they said that if they just tried to make him a straight psychopathic Michael Myers slasher murderer, it would ruin what makes Negan.
I'm going to put everybody at ease right now. I think the writers know what kind of character that they have that they're getting ready to introduce. Mm-hmm. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, go back, look at some of his work. He's an amazing actor. Mm-hmm. He's going to do this character justice.
He looks like he fits the role. Looking at him, profile.
I think this is going to be a really awesome character.
Have y'all seen the leaked footage of? It's very short. It's on a cell phone of him beating something with a bat. Like obviously, it's behind. It's somebody on the film crew filmed it, and it's while they're filming. So obviously, he's not. He's killing someone with his baseball bat, but in the leaked footage, and I can pull it up when we get off of the podcast, he's hitting say a table with a pad on it, but obviously they'll digitally impose someone, but so he's beating the ever-living shit out of someone with a baseball bat, and that was leaked footage. Ooh. And that was cell phone, they tried their best to cover that up. I don't think
good luck.
I think a lot of leaks, like Cloverfield, when that movie came out, there was a lot of intentional leaks to really, but I really do feel like that this was not an intentional.
Another off topic. Speaking of Cloverfield, have you seen the trailer for 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yes, it's got John Goodman. I love John Goodman.
Is he the monster? Terrorizing the world.
That's so awesome.
I love John Goodman.
No, it's gonna be good.
I don't know why.
And Brie Larson is the girl. I don't know.
Interesting though. I won't stay on it long, but I was told that originally was not going to be a Cloverfield movie. That it was a movie all of its own, and then they decided to make it Cloverfield. Which scares me though, because you want you're right. Whoever wrote it to be dedicated to the whole Cloverfield premise, like Devil May Cry, the video game, that was supposed to be like Resident Evil 2 or 3 or something, and then they realized they were like, this isn't anything like Resident Evil. Let's make it its own game.
Right.
So I hope that they didn't just go, well, this is kind of like Cloverfield. Hey, let's turn it into a sequel. Because I really liked Cloverfield. People were so back and forth. Either they loved it,
enjoyed it.
They hated it. I liked it a lot. I loved the found footage perspective. I thought that
it was
T.J.
newer
Miller,
at the time. Yeah.
I thought as HUD, he was freaking hilarious. I just loved it. When I saw it in theaters and we got out, I was like, dude, I hope they do another one. And then, what is it now? 2007 that came out? 2008?
Oh, God, it's been a while ago.
So here it is 6, 7, 8 years later, and they're finally doing a sequel.
But I love
it's like a cousin of it, they said. It'll be in the same universe.
It looks like the end of the world or something.
There was probably some sort of attack somewhere, and then I don't know. We'll find out. Go watch the trailer if you haven't seen it.
Check that out. If you're a Cloverfield fan, I'm a Cloverfield fan. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
We'll pull it up. We'll pull that and leak footage up when we get done with the podcast. All right, but Walking Dead. So
and we got another what if.
We do have another what if, and JP proposed this one, and it's a very, very interesting question.
It's a little silly. I mean,
let's hear it. You give it to
I
us.
was just thinking, you guys remember when Hershel was keeping all the zombies in the barn? He was like, all zombies didn't come with an instruction manual. This isn't a Hershel impression. This is just me talking.
That sounds like an angry, Irish grandpa.
It's like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, that was a little off. But you remember the premise.
Like Norm Macdonald's.
I'm Colonel Sanders.
Isn't that him?
It's Norm Macdonald.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead and tell us your Hershel.
What if Norm Macdonald was cast as Negan? I think that'd be really great. But anyway,
be a much lighter character. I think.
Besides that, but
you just couldn't take the thing he said, like when he says it's about to become pee-pee pants city real quick. Mm-hmm. Hearing Norm Macdonald say that, it just wouldn't be as intimidating as I imagine Jeffrey Dean Morgan would make
everything
it.
Would be
sarcastic. They better keep that line in there too, because here comes this big badass buff guy in a leather jacket, and he says it's about to become pee-pee. What does he say? Are we having fun yet? It's about to become pee-pee pants city here real quick, or something to that effect, and you're like, what? And then you think this is but then obviously you find out a page or two later he's not to be screwed with. It really did become pee-pee pants city.
Yeah.
But so what was your question about Hershel?
What was I talking about?
Hershel.
Oh yeah,
zombies don't come with a structure manual.
Yeah, what if they really were sick, just like he was talking about? Remember when Rick had the one on the leash, and they were all filing out of the barn and they were shooting him, and Shane's big thing was like, well, I just shot him in the lungs, the heart. He's still coming. And what if Hershel had been right? What if the zombie was just like, what are you shooting me for, pal? I'm just trying to eat you here.
Yeah.
See what you're saying? What if zombies become sentient? Like what if?
Well, what if there was still a part of them
self-aware?
Check this out. So there is I read a crap load of different zombie. Way more than The Walking Dead. I have tons of series, and one of them is called. It's a prequel to a teen series called Rotten Ruin. I've never read that series, but the prequel was a lot more adult oriented. It's called Fall of Night and Dead of Night. I don't know which order they are, but those are the two. And in that, actually, these little wasp larvae are what take you over and make you a zombie. But the crazy thing is, you are still there. Like you are still there watching. You're in the driver's seat, but you have no control. Your body is on autopilot. So like if you're eating your mother, you have no control over it, but you can think, oh no, stop, don't eat her.
And man, that's not so far-fetched. I just heard about this it's a parasite in your cat poop, in your cat's poop, and it gets up in your brain and makes you more aggressive and hostile and stuff. And the whole point of that is it's supposed to be eaten by mice who are supposed to be fearless around cats, so the cats eat them, and it reintroduces the parasite into the cat via the mouse. But they can get into our brains too. These are microbes, baby.
How about that? That's interesting.
Like what were those things? The Yerks from Animorphs. Is that too far back? Does anybody know?
Oh, I remember the covers of the books. What the person is.
If anybody out there remembers Animorphs, let me know.
I never read them, but I
read them. That series, they could see everything that was happening. And it's really cool because it's actually a pretty good, I really enjoyed those two. It's not Walking Dead good, but it is a good different take on it. And it gives you, from several different people, their point of view of thinking, like, I wish someone would just kill me. Like, it talks about one old guy who you see in the beginning, and then as you get toward the end of one book, like, as he's approaching a man with a shotgun, his body's trying to eat the guy, and the whole time he's thinking, please kill me, please just shoot me, and then the guy does, and it just talks about, like, blackness, So what if the Walking Dead universe was that way? Like you can completely see. It's like at an airplane with autopilot. You're looking through the window, but you can't do anything to change the course.
Like to hear those. I would like to hear those stories
from those
people.
Zombies.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like once you die as a zombie, once someone beheads you or whatever, then you come out as like a blue Jedi form in your human self, and then you can walk around, tell people,
right,
here's the life that I led.
That's awesome.
I would like that.
I would love to introduce Star Wars into The Walking Dead.
It's awesome. Star Wars, everything, dude. Have you seen the TV lately? It's everywhere.
Yes, it is.
It's only a matter of time before they have a crossover.
Did we have any more what-if scenarios?
I said, what if Carl was actually a girl? Like, what if Carl was like
and
Kylie?
I got that confused. I had thought that was
a transsexual kid, yeah.
I was thinking Game of Thrones here, like perhaps, Rick had told, or Lori had told Carl, which would be like, why hadn't Rick questioned that? Rick just showed up and immediately addressed him as a boy. But we were thinking maybe they told Carol, maybe is his name. Maybe there's two Carols in the group.
Yeah.
They turned her to Carl and said, "You're now a boy. This is for your safety, Carol,
cap.
during the apocalypse."
Don't let anybody see you pee.
What would it be like for Rick to have to raise a daughter?
Right.
Like, well, I mean, we're going to, not an infant daughter.
Well, now that he's in Alexandria, it'd be full of boys that obviously, boys at that age, 14, 15, I think he's supposed to be like 14, 15
put their dirty little peepees and everything. It's ridiculous.
So, they're trying to get, so not only is he battling zombies, he's battling horny teenagers, which are pretty much zombies.
That's what they say. I'd rather have a son than a daughter, because with a son, you only have to worry about one penis. With a daughter, you have to worry about all of them.
Oh, yes.
And that's what they, I don't know who they are.
You only have to worry about controlling one. When you have a girl, you have to worry about controlling them all.
Yeah.
One father to rule them all.
Oh, man. I was trying to figure out how to turn that into a Lord of Rings reference, and you totally nailed it, pal.
Good job.
Totally
Good
nailed
it. And my axe.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that in there.
You shall not pass. Like he stands in front of, he gets between them. You shall not pass. But I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like Carl, like he's been very nurturing towards Carl, but I feel like he would, I don't know, I feel like Rick would be even more like nanny-ish. But I don't know, he's got Judith, and I mean, to be honest with you, you don't really see that much out of her. Usually somebody else has got her, which I understand he's the leader. He can't really be.
He would either make the female Carl very like strong and brutish and mannish, I guess, or the female Carl, which I guess we could call Kylie. I don't know, right. Carlito.
Too bad Carol's taken. That would be perfect.
I don't know. Wish Carol wasn't taken. That'd be good.
Carly.
But maybe that would be nice to Carly. There we go. Would Carly give Rick a softer side and help him not be given to the dark side?
You definitely could create down the road, if you wanted some like insurance on your series, you could have had that to create a really badass female lead. I mean, if Rick, like maybe, which in the comics Judith is dead, but like if Judith was brought up and raised by Rick, I feel like Rick would die before Judith got to the age that he could actually like train her. But imagine if you had Carl was a girl and grew up under like Rick's leadership. I mean, you'd have a badass girl. I mean, it'd be like the white Michonne.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially surrounded by the ladies she's surrounded with. Michonne, Carol, all survivors.
She would definitely be taught from a young age to be a strong woman.
You left out Maggie.
I'm sorry.
How could you do that?
I don't know how.
She's my girl now. You don't get her anymore.
No,
you don't appreciate
stop
her.
it.
You don't appreciate her.
I absolutely do.
Oh, man.
I just keep it to myself. I'm not going to share with you guys.
So I think, if I was the governor here, I would take you two and throw you in an arena and throw down like water guns and paintball guns and be like, you must battle. Not to the death, because I like you both too much.
That's really
nice of you. You two have to battle for Maggie.
Yeah,
right. This is like the softer governor. I want you both to hurt, but I don't want you to die or nothing. We have to podcast on Monday. But fight for Maggie. I would love to see that.
I'd fight for her. But then I would hope for her to turn around and be like, I don't want someone to fight for me. I want someone to let me be me. And be like, oh, I appreciate you.
Maybe we could split up the week or something. Her.
Okay, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's
you
not
get
weird
joint,
at all.
as governor, I would give you joint custody of Maggie.
It's kind of like when the skipper and Gilligan got into it and they drew the chalk line across the middle of the hut.
Yeah,
it'd kind of be like that. Only Maggie would be the hut.
And then the Harlem Globetrotters are like hanging out on the other side of the island, and the professor's making a.
Kurt Russell was on Gilligan's Island. Did you know that?
Kurt Russell was?
Yeah, go back and look it up. He was a little boy. He's like this
Snake Plissken, Kurt Russell?
No, like young. Like he played.
I mean, I'm just okay. Yeah. Same Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When I think Kurt Russell, for some reason, I'm like Wyatt Earp. Kurt Russell.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But he's a little boy on. Yeah, but he was on Gilligan's Island.
That'd be great to see middle-aged Kurt Russell on Gilligan's Island. Though.
It'd be great to see Doc Holliday on Gilligan's Island.
That would be
Say
nice.
when. God, it's one of my favorite characters of all time. But yeah, so that's about to bring a close to this episode. Before we go, are there any more what ifs? I'll tell you what, the listener, that would be great if you. So, like I said, give us your opinions on all these. I mean, what do you think it would be like if Carl was a girl? What do you think it would be like if Lori was still alive? What we really want to know who you would follow, Carol or Michonne, or do you feel like someone else would be better equipped to lead the group?
Yeah.
And also, if you have any what if scenarios, please throw them in the comments. We could definitely use those on the podcast. I love these.
I hope we don't give Robert Kirkman any ideas, because gender bending is like the thing in comics now. Like Thor's a lady.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What if Rick was a girl?
Yeah, they're totally gonna write that into Walking Dead now.
Just be badass and so hot.
Rhonda,
the alpha female. Oh.
It'd be like she'd have like that Daisy Duke accent. Y'all don't mess with us now. You hear? But all right, so this has been. I enjoyed that. I really like the what if scenarios. So if you guys have any, please throw them in the comments section, and we would love to address them.
I wanted to find last week because we talked about last week who would be good in The Walking Dead, who would rule. Somebody said Heath Ledger, like as the Joker. Heath Ledger's the Joker in The Walking Dead. That would be cool. You couldn't differentiate between a zombie and the Joker.
He was fiercely intelligent. He would figure. He's one of those people, kind of like we were talking about. Tyrion from Game of Thrones Tyrion would be, I think, would survive because they have the mind to figure out what, like, even if they couldn't, they would figure out what they need to do to survive. Like the Joker was, I mean, like, it's one of the smartest villains to be completely batshit crazy. He's one of the most intelligent villains, I feel,
Oh, absolutely.
And villain history. Oh, yeah. I mean, the Joker's.
And Juan Robles, as we know so well, because I can pronounce his name correctly now. Right. Juan Robles. I hope I'm saying it right.
I like the exotic.
Robles.
You're throwing Juan a nice Robles. Little, like roll.
Yeah, you have to say it right. I mean, you have to say it correctly.
Right. Roll that tongue
he said Billy the Kid would make The Walking Dead his biatch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Billy the Kid.
Now, what about Bill? All right, before we go, this will be short. Billy the Kid, and I'm going to say Emilio Estevez is Billy the Kid.
Okay.
I like that Billy the Kid. Or Doc Holliday. Who would make who the bitch?
Not Doc Holliday. Too bad with tuberculosis. He can't.
Yeah. Well, let's take that out. Let's say he has no
then Doc Holliday all the way, bro.
Because, man, like, I liked Billy the Kid. I really do.
Val Kilmer played Doc Holliday,
great.
Right?
Oh, yes, that one. Yeah. Though I like Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid's is
he was a little sloppy.
Doc Holliday. And Val Kilmer's mustache looked a lot better on him,
too. Man, he just fit. And they made him so pale and patty. It's so good. We could have a Tombstone podcast. I love that movie.
We could.
All right.
Okay. So anyway, I just want to bring those up. Those are really good comments.
Excellent.
About
please keep commenting. And as we get back into this show, these are just fillers. It's like so. Any suggestions you have, throw them out there.
To all of our East Coast listeners, hope you're doing good in the snow.
Yeah, seriously.
Hope everything's going well.
If you haven't heard every one of our podcasts and you're snowed in, what a better thing to do than to go back from one and listen all the way up to here.
Soak them up.
Some of them are 30 minutes long.
They
some
will freaking hate us by the end of it.
Maybe. Just have trigger nightmares every time they hear a podcast.
Just like, no. Well, once again, I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Matt.
I'm JP.
Yes, you are.
We'll catch you next week.